Hey everybody, John Huber here from the Maryland Education Network with my longtime friend and former colleague, known as the controversial counselor, Mr. David Glover. David, thanks for joining me.
No problem. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, John.
Hey, not
Thanks
a
for having
problem.
me.
Oh, I'm glad to have you, man. I just when I thought about talking to some people about education and thought about maybe informing some people about what's really going on there. You're the first name that came to mind. So, I like to keep it light. And like I said, like I just mentioned to you before we started, I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus or take anybody off. Just, we'll just see what happens. So tell me about some people of my millions of followers. Tell me about yourself, what you do and where you're from, and not where you're from. You can tell where you're from. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm David Glover. Currently, right now, I'm, in school system. This is year 17. I'm originally from Niagara Falls, New York. Graduated from Niagara University, bachelor's in social science and also school counseling education. And pretty much before I relocated to Baltimore, I worked at Bryan and Stratton College, 10 years as an academic advisor, also taught critical thinking. Then I worked different jobs in the human service field, like drug and alcohol rehabs, adolescent and adult psychiatric units, developmentally disabled homes. It runs the gamut. So pretty much most of my experiences have been around serving others or helping people, whether it was in the human service field or education. And also I ventured off to become an author. I've wrote a couple books, one Cocktail Conversations by the Controversial Counselor and No Friday Foolishness.
No Friday Foolishness.
And that came from pretty much the middle school I'm at now, with a group of girls that used to kind of give us the business every week, all day long, every day.
I believe I know the young ladies of whom you speak. I never knew that about you, David. All those things you did. That's awesome. And you've been around a lot. So tell me. This is kind of where I spoke to one of our former colleagues the other day. Since you've been pre-pandemic versus post-pandemic, what the heck is going on in the schools? What's the difference?
Yeah, it's like, to me, when we left, we were with those students for pretty much 2.5, 3 years.
Almost 3, yeah.
Yeah, so that time, it was amazing, like the day-to-day conversations. And then all of a sudden it stopped. And then the next year it was strictly virtual, that you only seen people like in the Hollywood squares, like in
the Brady Bunch
meeting. Yeah. And you like,
didn't they do like a on again, off again, A/B rate rotation or something like that for a bit during that year?
Yeah, and I can't even, it was just, for me as a counselor, it was just kind of miserable, because I strive off of where teachers, they have the kids in the classroom all the time, but counselors, we get appointments or we go get kids, and they really wasn't, as the kids would say, really wasn't checking for these one-on-one virtual meetings. So, and if they did, a lot of times they didn't turn on the camera. So I'm like, okay, this is odd to be just talking to a voice where I'm used to them running in and out of my office all day long. So I was sort of like, okay, I got to get back. We got to get back into school, because this is not rewarding or even challenging, and didn't really get a chance to know them. So this year starting up, it's like we almost have 2 6th grade classes.
What grade do you have this year?
I have the 7th grade, but mind you, only a handful, it was more than a handful, but maybe only 100, 150 of them came back when they opened things back up. So that means more than half never
weren't even there in
been in school.
Grade. Right.
So you have to get them adjusted and adapted. So we're still dealing with that along with the
Yeah.
sixth graders that transition from elementary. So it's like having two sixth grade classes, which is it's been a
Yeah.
challenge.
Yeah, I bet. What's the attendance like?
It's kind of sporadic. And when we had the ransomware, that kind of
I
made
forgot
us
about that.
change it to a whole nother system.
Oh,
So, and I don't know if this system is really accurate or not. So
yeah,
we struggle through that. And
yeah,
then with these different variants of the virus, parents like, oh, I'm not sending my kid to school. We're
yeah.
not doing that. So it's kind of like up
You
and
always have to
down.
throw your hands up and just say, if you're here, great. If not, so be it. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, and that's pretty much how it is.